Thursday, April 4th, and these people are outside of a birth control clinic, a Planned Parenthood clinic that does not provide abortion. It only provides well checkups and birth control. And yet they're here with their signs, which they have a constitutional right to be here, but they're outside of a clinic that does not perform abortions. Across the street there's somebody with a sign that says abortionist, even though no abortions happen here, just birth control, which prevents abortion. Let's see what we have up the street. Oh wow, check this out. There's signs attached to Bridgeville Borough lampposts. No people holding these. Planned Parenthood kills babies and hurts women. I thought Planned Parenthood provided birth control and well checkups. But you know, guess it's a free country. You can say whatever you want. On the other side of the sign, oh look, yeah, here we go. Bridgeville Borough gets to help them spread their message of hate. On this side of the street, here's the last sign that we have. Once again, it's tied to a lamppost. People on the other side of the street, there's a guy holding his sign, and there's another older gentleman holding a sign. Then there's the guy that holds a sign that says abortion is this way when there's no abortion here, and that sign has a person. So apparently the only signs that are the Bridgeville Borough is helping us spread are these two that are held up by the lampposts. Let's go see what the people have to say about that. We'll ask this lady, since she's on this side of the street and it's hard to cross when it's busy. Excuse me, ma'am. Why are there two signs up there that are being held up by Bridgeville Borough taxpayer paid for lampposts? I mean, I understand you have a right to free speech and say whatever you want to outside of a clinic that does not perform abortions, but why are you up there? Why is your group using Bridgeville Borough lampposts to hold up your signs? No one stopped you. Well, I live in Bridgeville and my tax dollars pay for that lamppost, so I would really like it if you know, if you're going to have people stand here and use your First Amendment rights, that's awesome. But, you know, if those signs have to stay today, then I'm going to have to call the Bridgeville Borough Police and ask that they be removed. So, will you remove them? Well, okay, that's great. I'll call them. Oh, and by the way, I find it very interesting that you're outside a clinic that doesn't provide abortion. Well, no, our tax dollars go to pay for things like birth control and health screenings for poor women, and, you know, birth control prevents pregnancy, which in turn prevents abortion. So birth control is something that you people should be celebrating. Why are you against birth control? It depends on what kinds of... What, the birth control pill that stops you from ovulating, so there's no egg that drops, so there's never a baby that's formed? Because you have to have an egg drop. You have to ovulate. in order to get pregnant. I have 4 kids. I've been around the block. I know how it works. So, and I know, I've read some of your group's things, and you say that birth control pills, or what do you call them, abortifacients? And you call yourselves pro-life, even though I think you're pro-natal. Because you people also don't want things like, WIC and food stamps and help for young mothers. You do, so you're not a Republican. Well, Republicans are against food stamps and help for young mothers. You never heard that? Okay. I have 4 daughters. I have to be well educated. I've raised 4 wonderful children, and I think this is heinous what you're doing. I mean, I'm not for abortion. I think it should be safe, legal, and extremely rare. And there was a time, I got to tell you, 40 years ago, no, 30 years ago, when I was part of your group. I was pro-life. Well, I still am. I actually think my side's more pro-life than your side ever will be. But I marched in the parades. I went to the March for Life in D.C. And then around the time that I started having my children, I was married and started having children, your group decided that the exceptions of rape, life of the mother, and incest were no longer options, and everybody just had to have their baby no matter what. And I just thought that was awful. And then I started to do research about the things like the so-called abortifacients that your group says are, and I looked into the biology of it, and I asked doctors, and I did some scholarly research, and I found out that your group was lying. You were lying. And the fact that you thought it was okay for a rape victim to carry the rapist baby, you do? You think a rape victim should carry the rapist? Yeah, but that... Well, if a young girl is raped and she goes to the hospital for a rape kit to get the police there, she shouldn't be given emergency contraception so she doesn't ovulate? I don't think that we have a right to tell a rape victim that she should be further victimized by having the child of the person who violated her. But, I guess you just see women as vessels. But, and we disagree on that. Yeah, but if you go to a hospital and you get emergency contraception, then you don't ovulate and there's no baby. But, I know the Catholic hospitals don't want to give emergency contraception because I guess they're all about promoting rapist babies. And I don't understand it. Well, if you don't give emergency contraception, that's what you're doing. And I don't understand it. But more importantly, we need to not use our Bridgeville Borough paid-for lamp signs. Seriously, have all the people out here you want. I think that's great. I'm all for First Amendment rights, even though you're out here protesting abortion in a place where abortion doesn't happen. But you can't be using... Are you in politics here in Bridgeville? No, I'm a citizen. I'm a mother. Okay. I pay my taxes. I live in a house. I mow my lawn. My kids have all gone to college. I'm not part of the Bridgeville Council, but I'm certainly a person who has rights to say what I want to say. So, and your name is? Oh, never mind. Are you Mrs. Newman? Well, that's awesome. Well, I've read the articles, and Well, I've read. There's been lots of articles about you and your group, and I think, again, you say whatever you want to say, but you should be standing outside of a place that actually performs abortions if you're going to do this. But if you're against abortion, you should be all for Planned Parenthood. That doesn't make any sense. No, they provide birth control, and birth control prevents abortion.
If somebody gave you a pile of money, you say, "Oh, we're not going to use this for abortion."
Well, no, the part of Planned Parenthood that performs abortions is a separate company. It's a separate entity. Oh, it's fungible. I forgot. Yeah, you guys like to use semantics. But regardless of that, if you really are pro-life, you would be for women having access to abortion because that prevents, the need for... Hi.
I want to thank you for what you're doing.
Are you one of the people that are supposed to be holding the signs that are attached to the lampposts? Okay. There's no abortions in this building, by the way.
Well, Planned Parenthood.
Provides birth control, which in turn prevents pregnancy and prevents abortion. But, you know, let's not
But
use...
their main business is abortion.
No, their
That's
main
how they
business...
make their profits.
No. Who told you that? That's not true.
Well, I'm going to believe you. Are you from Planned Parenthood?
No, I'm a Bridgeville resident, and I don't like the fact that my taxpayer paid for lampposts are being used to, you know,
Freedom of speech.
people should be holding those, not my lampposts.
For freedom of speech?
Well, hey, freedom of speech all you want, but it doesn't make any sense. There's no sense in what you're doing. I appreciate that you're using your First Amendment rights. I think more people should. But I'm going to go call, you know, Chad, I'm going to go call the police officers and find out why you're using my lamppost that I paid for with my tax dollars.
Well, she's using your sidewalk.
No. And and that's cool, but you can't hold up your signs with a lamppost. Yeah, that has to be a person. That has to be a person up there. Who says that?
Yeah,
If you're protesting, you're not allowed to attach a sign to government property.
Put up a sign
No,
anywhere.
no, you're not.
Who said? Do you have the ordinance number?
No, I don't have the ordinance number, but I'll get it. So maybe you might want to go grab one of those to hold it for a while for this nice lady. Who, again, I appreciate that you're using your First Amendment rights. We all need to stand up for what we believe. I just think that your thinking is twisted. Because we need to prevent as many abortions as we can, and the best way to do that is to provide women with access to birth control.
Who said that? Where did you get that information from?
Where did I get that information from?
What statement you just made, where'd
Well,
you get that from?
I don't know. I'm 50 years old. I've had 4 kids. I've lived my life. I've talked to doctors. I've done research.
Where has that ever been proven? Because
Where has that been proven?
In the past 40 years, with all this access to birth control, besides how many abortions? Yeah, in the past 40 years?
Millions.
And all that access to birth control has not helped that.
Well,
And I think there's more child abuse and neglect today
really?
with every child, a wanted child, as their theme is.
So you're saying that a wanted child is abused? If parents plan their
Well,
children?
they said that's been their theme for the past
Yeah, it
40
is.
years,
And you know
right?
what? I'm really glad that my kids have educated themselves. My girls have all gone to college. 2 of my girls are married. And when they have children, they'll be ready and they'll be able to provide for their families in a way that they want to. They'll be able to take care of them and feed
Wait a
them.
minute.
And they
What
won't
about-
need things like food stamps or,
Wait a
government
minute, wait a minute.
assistance.
But your point was that because of all this birth control that they're giving out, that it's made things better somehow, or it's going to improve.
Women who use birth control do not have a need for abortion. But things like this and people who want to cut funding for birth control are part of the problem.
Why should you talk about taxpayers? Why should our tax money be used to support this kind of a thing?
Well, I don't know. I guess you're against it. What about people who are against war and their tax dollars go to pay for war? Well, anyway, I'm going to call the police. You should do some research, sir, because you're very deluded.